Super excited to announce that we're bringing back our year-end special, an unbelievable deal where you can get 1 year of access and membership to CogornoGolf.com, 1 full year of coaching with myself and our team for over 50% off the normal price. The deal's simply never gonna get as good as this, and if you get in now, you get this pricing for life, so long as you remain a member. So we're getting unbelievable results with our members. So if you think about where your game's at now and what are you gonna do next year to improve, now is the time to get in. You get ability to send in your swings, you get monthly swing analysis, you get access to over $3,000 worth of master classes, all of my personal practice plans. You get 24/7 access to myself, our team, and over 1,000 other members. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it, and this is exactly the guidance you need to finally take your game to the next level. December 15th through January 1st, limited time only. Click the link in the description down below. We'd love to see you there. All right, in today's video, we're gonna talk about something that is very likely absolutely killing your game, your friend's game, your sister's game, your brother's, everyone's game, that we're gonna talk about what that is today, and more importantly, how to fix that. We're out here with Mr. Jess Frank. Jess, thanks for having us again.
Yes, thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate
Excited.
you.
Yeah.
Deer Creek Golf Club out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Beautiful sunny day.
Yes.
To help some players hit the ball more solid. Now,
Yes.
you and I have been both coaching for quite a while.
We have.
1,000 lessons a week.
Yes.
And so we see a lot of the same issues. We see when we go to the range, if you're working on your game, a lot of the things that someone might tell someone to get better, right? The old
Yes.
grandpa or friend lesson.
Yes, we hear this all the time.
The same sort of things. And a lot of times, you know, sometimes that advice, they mean well,
Yes, correct.
but can make situations worse. And the number one thing Jess and I are always trying to work with for a golfer, first things first, is how the heck do you hit the ball solid
Yes.
repeatedly,
Yes.
over and over and over.
Yes.
And so today we want to talk about the piece that we want to make sure you're very clear on so that it's not in your swing messing you up. Jess, you kind of guide us through what that is.
Yeah, so killing your golf game, we hear this all the time, and it drives us crazy because this is not why you're hitting the ball poorly, is people telling you to keep your head down. And so when people tell you to keep your head down, what happens is that most people stop moving their body completely. So they're trying to keep their head down, yet that's not what's topping the golf ball or hitting it fat or hitting it to the right, because you know, you don't hold on to the club with your head. Okay, so
Wait a minute.
What? Time out.
Okay.
So basically, when you're trying to keep your head down, then you get locked in, and there's no athletic game that your head stays still or locked down on a target. Basically what happens then, your head stays down, your arms flex, your weight moves back, and you top it. And so everybody's like, well, you topped the ball, you must have lifted your head, which is completely false, because I could keep my head down and top a golf ball all day long.
In fact, you see that quite often, right?
All the time.
Yeah, okay.
All the time. In fact, I'll video people in lessons, and they're like, oh, I picked my head up. And in fact, their head is moving down. And so they'll be like, oh, well, that can't be the reason.
Right.
So then from there, we can start building on how to fix and how to understand how your body really moves throughout a golf swing. And so that's what we're here to talk about.
And one of the huge keys, Jess, let's kind of talk through, both on the backswing and the downswing, is the concept of keeping your head down limits your body's ability to move correctly.
Correct.
And we need to differentiate your head staying down and your head staying reasonably centered. Jess and I will talk in a lot of our videos, you know, if you draw a circle around your head, you do want the physical space that your head is in to stay relatively in the same area, but your face and eyes don't stay locked down on the golf ball because your neck has to move, right?
And that's where we come into neck tilt and neck swivel, which are what I love to show people, because it helps them with their range of motion, it helps them keep the radius and keeping their arms straighter through the ball. And really when you're swinging, what happens is that as you swing the club back, and again, if you go through the list of, or go through the pictures of all the players and the best players in the world, what happens is that as they take their backswing, their neck tilts, neck swivel, neck tilt, and you can see as my chin is moving, so my eyes, when I go back, my eyes are actually now on a slant. My left ear goes to the ground on my backswing. And then it goes the opposite way on the downswing. But you can see is that my head is staying in the circle, but my neck is moving. I'm not trying to keep my head locked down. So that allows me to move my body. But if I keep my head just locked down, then my arms flex, I have no pivot, my hips don't move, my knees don't change flex, and all I do is I just bend my arms and top the ball. And so that's when people, well-meaning of course, is that they're trying to tell people to stare at the ball to hit the ball. And we know that just doesn't, that's not what happens during a golf swing when you hit it poorly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's flip that. That's beautiful, Jess.
Yes.
I think that we, our intention here is to provide you the correct information that they can apply, especially when they're struggling.
Absolutely.
And if I were to take my normal setup, we look at my swing, we look at whoever, like you mentioned on the way back, I need to have my chin working a little to the right.
Correct.
My left ear works a little bit down towards the ground.
Yeah.
And that enables me to turn and tilt and extend
Exactly.
to make a full backswing.
Yes.
Right? Keep my arms
100%.
reasonably straight.
Yes. Yeah, extend, tilt, turn.
If my face stays too much at the ball, or even if I were to move, as an exaggeration, if you try this, move your chin towards the target too much like this, and try and make a backswing.
Yeah, can't do it.
Can't turn at all.
Yeah.
Now to the ball is a little bit easier, and a little bit this way makes it even better.
Yeah.
We go up and down a range at any range.
Oh yeah.
People aren't turning too much.
Right.
Right? They're not tilting too much.
Yeah, no, it's all the opposite.
It's on the opposite.
Yes,
so
exactly.
the odds are, right, you could use better structure, better turn, better power, etc. And that's a huge part of it, but even more importantly, and where the head down thing comes into place a lot, is on the way through.
Right.
And I just want to clarify this because I think it's important. I wish someone would have explained it, or I would have heard it when I was trying to fix this, is if we drew the circle around my head type of deal, if we watch an iron player, let's say the circle's on the top, most of them, their head will work slightly down and forward.
Correct.
To about left arm parallel. Then it kind of stays in the circle until right arm parallel.
Yes.
So the head stays down in a sense of its physical location.
Correct.
But the eye line,
right,
and the neck, we really want it to be more like, hey, let your eye line follow the club movement.
Correct.
Would that be fair?
Yes, absolutely.
So my chin is turning towards the target.
Correct.
My right ear is now down.
Yeah.
And my face is pointed forward so that I can turn, tilt, and extend on the way through as well.
Absolutely. And let's go back to your backswing again. I'm going to do something I like to do with a lot of people. So Eric's got municipal across his hat here. So when he
nice little plug there, Jess. All right.
So you're going to watch the municipal here. If I put this line straight here, now go ahead and make your backswing. The M on municipal, even the MUN, goes above the line. So do it again. Start over. So here we go. Straight across. You can't see the municipal. Now when you go back, look what happens. The M goes above the shaft. I haven't moved the shaft, but Eric's allowed his head to tilt. And so that's what the best players do.
Yeah.
That's
and that
what
enables
happens.
them to get their body to work correctly on the way back.
Correct. And it also allows people to lengthen their backswings.
Yeah.
And this is phenomenal for senior golfers, because senior golfers love and been told for years to keep their head down. If you want to lengthen your backswing and hit the ball farther, tilt your head and bring your left ear to the ground, and your left arm will orbit your body a lot more than it normally does. Because most senior golfers stop because they are like, oh, I'm not flexible enough, right? So they're not flexible enough, but they're keeping their head down and they're stopping their turn, and their arms are bending. So I'm like, all right, just let your neck turn, let your left ear go to the ground, and the next thing they know, they're making a huge shoulder turn, they're making a huge hip turn, and they didn't have to go through any type of physical therapy or working out or anything. It's just knowing how to let your body move. And the neck tilt, neck swivel is going to completely change their games and help them.
Add a lot more power.
Absolutely. Power is huge.
And on the way through, a lot of people, if you're someone who maybe hits a thin shot or a top shot or poor contact, see, the kicker here is by keeping your eyes down too long, by having your head go down too much, it actually makes your brain bend your arms and wrist more.
Yeah, it does. It does completely.
So if I wanted to have a perfect follow-through release, I need to have my neck and eyes and chest and rib cage turning to enable me to keep my arms straight.
Correct.
Now, if I take this and I remove all of my body rotation, I'm going to bring my head back, I'm going to bring my rib cage back, I'm gonna bring my hips back.
Yeah.
My arms and wrists just changed there, and I did not consciously do it.
Correct.
It happened as a reaction of change of motion, right?
Yeah.
And me at end range of motion.
Yes.
So if you're hitting balls and you top them, the one thing you shouldn't do is have my eyes and face more down.
Right.
Because my arms are gonna bend more, my wrist is gonna bend more, and that changes that radius,
Yeah.
right, Jess?
Yeah, completely changes it.
Club head gets farther from the ground,
Yeah.
and there's my thin shots.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm able to do the turning piece, I can keep the full width.
Yeah, and your eyes move through. So I like to do this with people. I'll hold the stick on an angle. First of all, you got to remember this is the angle of the shaft. So I want your eyes to match this shaft as you go through. You see that right there?
Yep.
So your eyes are now tilted on the shaft, which in turn basically tilt your shoulders, tilt your hips, get your knees to go through. So now you're on the correct angle to hit the ball solid.
And the purpose of that is for me to stay the same distance from the ground.
Exactly.
To make me controlling this club head hitting the ground easier, right?
100%. All day
So,
long.
man, a lot of stuff comes back to just like moving your body around to a point where you can consistently hit the ball then ground.
Yes.
And then everything else is sugar on top.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. That's our #1 goal, solid contact.
So if I'm just hitting on the way through here, let's say I'm the golfer who keeps this. Let's forget backswing for a second. Let's say this is my main issue.
Right.
I would say, hey, let's kind of go halfway back again. Let's get into this 90-90-90.
Yes.
Let's get the arms extended.
Yep.
Let's get the face and chin working out, my ears down,
Yep.
but my face is out, my body's fully turned towards the target.
Correct.
And start there and get full extension of pieces.
Yeah, that's another great drill for sure. Is start in the 90-90-90 and then swing yourself back and swing yourself back through to the 90-90-90.
So it's
and
left ear down,
yep,
right ear down.
Yeah, left ear, right ear, all day long.
And I'm feeling like the arms are staying extended.
Yep.
I'm feeling like I'm turning on the way through.
Yeah,
And we'll
now-
show me hitting some.
Yeah, now you're moving, you're not staying down, you're using the dynamic motion of your body, swinging in a circle, adding power, hitting the ball solid. So all good stuff.
Head down, I guess we'll say head down versus eyes down or face down are two different ball games. We don't want your head to lift in terms of it getting farther from the ball dramatically through impact. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
We're saying if that head stays in the same location, you're turning.
You're still inclined. You still have this little action here with the shaft, and you're not lifting your body.
And the purpose of that so that we can get our body moving, keep the arms straighter, solidness of contact. So, maybe I'm sure you've heard, keep your head down. Maybe you have heard or haven't, which is the point of this, that you in fact shouldn't keep your eyes down.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Okay, and your neck and needs to swivel and turn.
Yes.
Okay, we could go on a lot more about that, but I think that's the sort of main message points.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to come see Jess or watch, he's got a great YouTube channel himself. We'll put that link in the description down below. We'd love to work with you at CogornoGolf.com. If you want to send your swings in, we'll see you there. Thanks,
Eric,
Jess.
awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.